Tag. So tag follows these group of friends who have been playing the same game of tag for over 30 years. They do it once a month and they use it as an excuse to get closer to each other, always having a reason to be in each other's lives. However, when Jeremy Renner's character decides that it's time to call it quits because he's getting married and having a family, Helms' character will round up all the friends involved in the game to tag Jeremy Renner's character, since he holds the record for never being tagged. And that's all pretty much to say without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just going to tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like, hit you with a rating system just like this one, breaking down the elements of the film and giving you a final ranking. So going into Tag and watching the trailer, we can all admit seemed like a silly premise, but that trailer really hooked us in. I mean, you have an amazing cast of characters, a silly premise, and of course, based on a true story. Why wouldn't we want to see this film? Really just had high expectations for this film going in, and I can honestly say it met those expectations. Let me go into some of the positives of the film. Of course, the biggest thing that this film has going for it is the cast of characters. You have John Hamm, Helms, Jake Johnson, Hannibal Buress, Jeremy Renner. And those are just the starring ones. The supporting characters in this film, also phenomenal. I usually pick out the ones that stand out to me in the film and spend my time talking about them, but I could honestly go on and on about all the characters in this film. They each have their own little quirks, their moments of shine, and a purpose to the plot. If I had to break down to my favorite ones, it had to be Hannibal Buress, Jeremy Renner, and Isla Fisher. That might sound a little surprising, but when you watch her character on screen, she is intense, she's a thrill. Really enjoyed watching all these characters interact and play with each other. They definitely had chemistry on screen. I could watch any film, whatever premise. They're playing a game of Twister for 20 years. I will watch it because of these cast of characters. Another credit I'm going to give to this film is the director, Jeff Tomzik. Now, he hasn't done much in the movie world. He's mainly handled comedy specials and comedy television shows. So you consider this his feature film debut. And he handles it so well. It is hard to make the game of tag seem interesting, excitable, and action-packed. The slow motion, the exaggeration, the lengths that they're willing to go to get this game done is hilarious. The inner monologues when they're going into tagging each other, very reminiscent to the Sherlock Holmes when he's having that fight, calculating his moves and then executing it. The soundtrack in this film also I really enjoyed. Every song that came on, I was pumped. I was nodding my head, I was singing the lyrics. And that's mostly because I'm a sucker for 90s hip-hop. But the soundtrack is almost like a character in the film. Sets the mood whether you're trying to be funny, serious, or dramatic, because this film surprisingly had a bit of a heart punch to it. I don't want to give anything away, but there was a moment where I was like, man, this is kind of sentimental. I was expecting just to laugh, but it had me seriously feeling for some of these characters. The underlying themes of friendship and what it means to stay together in our lives and have this game, the film played that all out very well. Although, of course, no film is without its negatives. The biggest thing that's going to draw a lot of people away, or at least picky people, is the exaggeration and lengths that these people go while playing the game of tag. One thing I want to caution viewers when you're seeing this movie is that just take the premise as the true story. They just took the premise that these group of friends that are really out there played this game of tag. That's all they took from that story. Everything else that you're watching is completely made up for the purpose of the film. The wedding, the person that's never been tagged before, are made just for the purpose of comedy. So please, do not go in this movie going, that didn't happen. They would not break that just for a game of tag. They wouldn't go to that lengths. They wouldn't kidnap a person. They could have died if they went ahead and did that. If you have those thoughts, if you have those nitpicks during this film, you're not gonna enjoy it, because the film exaggerates for a reason. It doesn't just do it once or twice, it does it throughout the whole film, and that's gonna draw back some people who like a realistic take when a movie is called a true story. So it's only true in premise, everything else made up, and that's fine. Also, the film didn't need to be rated R. It is rated R, but really there is nothing in the film that really warrants the need for it to be rated R. That might sound a little repetitive, but what I mean is just basically a swear word or two and one sexual innuendo that I guess wouldn't make a PG-13 rating. But those words could have been replaced for other lesser curse words, and that one scene really did not make the film much better. But I don't think there was much to benefit from an R rating. One last negative I'm going to give for the film that hit me personally was Jeremy Renner's character. Now, he's a complete badass, really fun to watch, but aside from being a badass, from never being tagged, to his persona, to his lifestyle, the character came off as a dick. He came off as a person who's purposely avoiding his friends, not participating in the game for the fun of it and to bring people together, to kind of stay away. And I know that was a hidden underlying theme of his character, but it made him come off very douchey, unapologetic, and at times unlikable. Now, of course, he's fully redeemed by the end of the film, but I could be the only one. Everyone else might be fine with his character. That was just a little thing that bothered me, but he was still a badass overall. Alright, so for tag, I'm gonna give action 3.5 stars. I was pleasantly surprised with the action. I thought everything they were showing in the trailers was gonna be a montage at the beginning, but they did a great job of bringing that action throughout the film. Comedy in the film, I'm also going to give 3.5 stars. It really made me laugh. I was chuckling. There were a few sexual innuendos and jokes that went a little far, but overall, still really funny. Drama in the film, I'm going to give 3 stars because there is a heart punch to it and a nice underlying theme of why they're playing this game of tag. Real heartwarming. Horror in the film, I'm going to give no stars to. There's really nothing that should frighten you, and since it's an R rating, children are expected to go to this film. And suspense in the film, I'm going to give 2 stars. Yeah, you're hoping Jeremy Renner gets tagged, but a lot of the times you're not in suspense wondering if it's going to happen. Casual fans, I'm going to give it an A-. Cinephiles, I'm going to give it an A+. And critically, I'm going to give it a B-. Tag, I believe, belongs in your collection at home.
That's a keeper.
So that's just my opinion on the film, guys. If you have any thoughts towards tag, please let me know down below. Also, let me know your favorite character, your favorite scenes. Always willing to discuss. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.